I have seen how my life has changed in those years. At that point, I didn't know that I would be in Dubai right now. It has made me realize how life can change so much in just 5 years. How much do you think you can achieve if you focus and be determined on the goals that you want to achieve in the next 5 years? Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Teddy Banks Nachito. If you're new here, all we talk about on this channel is how we can become the best versions of ourselves regardless of what happens in our lives. One thing I know for a fact is that life will always give us lemons, but it is up to us to make the most delicious lemonade out of it. Speaking of which, my book is in its final stages and I'm really excited to get it out to the world because, wow, it's been a hard 5 years of my life, honestly. Honestly. Oh my goodness, even thinking of it. Ooh, I've lived so many lives in the past 5 years. Anywho, the reason as to why I have made this video is to encourage you that if you look at your life way back 5 years ago and see everything that has happened, what you wanted to happen and what you never wanted to happen, but happened anyway. How about focusing on the next 5 years of our lives and be intentional on what exactly we want to happen? Of course, not to forget that I know for a fact that we don't have so much control about what happened to us. But like I mentioned, we have control about how we react. Yes, you've lost a job. Grieve if you have to, but then what next? You've lost a marriage. That's really sad. Grieve and then see what next. I mean, if you've noticed, you realize that I talk about resilience so much. So speaking of these goals, I know that they are not going to magically happen. I know that sometimes things are not going to go the way that we want them to. But when you give something your all, even if it doesn't turn out how you expected, two things are going to happen. You're either going to learn a lesson from it, or you even realize that you deserve better. I'll start with myself. In the next 5 years, I'll return back to this video. In the next 5 years, I'm gonna have my own home. I'm gonna own homes here in the UAE and back in Uganda. In the next 5 years, I'll be done with my bachelor's. Did I mention that I started my degree? I started my degree, y'all. I'm doing a bachelor's in business administration, and yeah, I realized that. See, I'm mixing stories. Anyway, I realized that one of the things that I struggled with finding a job is the fact that I didn't have a degree. And most of the jobs that I wanted, the first question they would ask, do you have a degree? And when you say no, you don't even get to the next level. I have a diploma in journalism, but I realized that a degree is just the basic, is the basic. If you have less than that, you should consider getting one. And probably there are people who say they want to be in the working space, in the employment space, so they don't need a degree. I totally agree with that. But for me, I feel like I am doing it for myself more than just a job, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna need this degree to help me carry on with whatever that I want to do. So yeah, in the next 5 years, I'm gonna have my degree. I'm looking at my vision board. Okay, this vision board is just for 2026, and I see myself being in my perfect body shape, getting my Dubai driver's license, speaking engagements, financial freedom, being able to work from anywhere in the world, digital income, an iPhone 17, passports for my children, vacations. I mean, freedom, you know. And just imagine, I'm looking at this vision board, and honestly, I am leaving half of it, like half of everything that I wrote down. I see them happening in my life. Reason because I have decided to be intentional about my goals, and I've decided to make them be where I can see them anytime. Like every single time I wake up, it's the first thing that I do, first thing that I look at. And honestly, gosh, I realized how God is helping me stay consistent even when things don't go the way that I want. One thing about me is that I don't easily give up on something that I want. Yes, I'm gonna find hardships, but if this is what I want, I'll keeping on until I realize that maybe this is not for me, or maybe I need to change, tweak it a little bit and a little bit there. So my question today: where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Okay, if that is really far, where do you see yourself in 2026 December? I remember listening to Terry. She said, what needs to happen for you to say that this was my best year ever? Honestly, when I look at my vision board, and if everything happens, my goodness, I would have had my best year ever. Look at it. Anywho, I want you to sit down and reflect on yourself and see the things that you want, and understand that just desiring these things won't make them happen, but being clear on what you want and putting in place actionable steps and systems to help you achieve these goals is what is going to help you. Hi sis, sorry to interrupt your podcast. I just want to inform you about my new upcoming book, which is called Let's Make Some Lemonades. This is not just a typical heartbreak book, but it's a book with practical tools and steps that can help anybody going through challenges of life who is trying to build again from scratch. I took my time writing this book, and I wrote it from my heart. And I promise you that you can never read this book and remain the same. So if you want to be one of the first people who receive a copy as soon as the book is published, check the description and book your copy. Now, back to our podcast. I had a story of Steve Jobs late in 1992. He was saying that you're going to be able to access your email without using a computer. And people are like, he's crazy. You know, little did they know that this guy had a big vision of creating the best phone in the whole world, which is an iPhone. When I look around the people around me and my own life, I realize that so much can happen in 5 years. The friends of mine have gotten married, have had children, have moved to different countries, have built businesses, like relationships have broken up, new friendships have been built. I mean, so much can happen in 5 years. Going back to my son as an example, in the next 5 years, he's gonna be 10 years. Oh my gosh, this boy is gonna be 10 years. 10. Ah, Braden is gonna be 10. Okay. Really excited about how life is gonna turn up in the next 5 years. And I know for a fact that God has great plans for me and you, plans to prosper us, not to fail us. And I really look forward to having you then. And hopefully in the next 5 years you're gonna come back to this video and say, Teddy, we made it. Yeah, I think that's all that I had for today. But before I leave, most of the people who watch my YouTube channel are from Uganda, and we all know Kampala. So the animal that was named after Kampala is called Impala. It has the capacity to jump 100 feet high, but you will find it in the zoo. You will find it gazetted somewhere, and it won't think of jumping because it doesn't have any, it is so used to what is close to it. Sometimes we are required to stretch a bit beyond what we think is our capacity because we will be amazed at how much we can do. Do not limit yourself when you're writing those dreams down. If you haven't written your goals for this year 2026, this video is to encourage you to do it ASAP because it is only June 2026 and a lot can happen in the next month. Okay? So don't limit yourself when you're writing those dreams. I'm very much inspired by the story of Steve Harvey. He always talks about his past, how he could hardly afford rent, how he slept in his car for 3 years. And now looking at Steve Harvey and how he is enjoying his best life. So much can really happen when you are focused on what you want. He knew that that was so much ahead of him. He knew that he deserved more than what he had. And the beauty, he never gave up on what he thought he deserved and wanted. He always says, closed mouths do not get fed. If you don't ask, you will not receive. If you don't open up your mind to really say, God, this is what I want, we don't know. Maybe you will get what you want by chance, but God wants us to write a vision, make it plain, that it could make anybody who reads it be like, are you okay? Be like, how dare you? I know when you had me talking about owning a home in the UAE and then owning a home in Uganda, you're like, in 5 years, you. You're like, girl, you can daydream. But I'm telling you, I am not daydreaming. I am not. I am not daydreaming. Anywho, I hope this video gears you up to do what you had to do by January 2026. But then it's never too late. It's never too late. You could start now and be ahead of all of us who started in January. So I have been reminded of how life can really change in just 5 years. I remember 5 years ago, I was pregnant with my son, Braden, who is making 5 years in December 2026. This is a whole grown-up man right now. He goes to school, he speaks. I mean, he's so smart, he's so handsome. And during that time, he was still in my belly. So just want you to know that I wish you the very best of luck and I'm cheering you on. Bye. Hi sis, if you've watched this far, clearly you have enjoyed the podcast. If you haven't yet subscribed, please take a minute to subscribe and like this video. Also, leave a comment behind on what stood out the most for you in this conversation. If you have a story or if you know anybody who has a story that can inspire us or help us learn a thing or two, please send me a message on teddybanksdigital@gmail.com and I'll see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, you are probably gonna love this one or this one. Let me know what you think about them. Bye.